when your life is so like busy and stuff, like you don't have the time to waste it when you could be doing something to help yourself get better. And that's where we put in with trading and everything else. And that's why we're trying to fit it in like a puzzle. And that's why time management is super important no matter what stage of your life that you're in.
Choose the most reasonable risk level, chart-based risk level. And I just have to size in accordingly. So I have my $20 risk.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Next Gen Traders YouTube channel. I'm Lance. I'm here with Alexander and Josh. We are recording this on Sunday, August 22nd. Welcome back to episode 11. Today, we're going to get into a little bit of OTC and listed market action, talk about our trades from the current week. Then we're going to get into a little bit of open discussion. Alex and Xander are going to go over a conversation I had earlier this week. Then we'll get out with the outro, and Xander will take us out at the end. So with all that being said, Xander's just going to talk about how his week is going. So Xander, how are you doing?
Yeah, so my week was huge, like huge transformation in my trading in general. And I'll talk about a lot of that more later. But really, I reached out to MIC with my problems, and they just told me everything I was doing wrong. And I literally fixed it, and my week has been perfect. Like, I couldn't ask for anything better. And so I can't wait to talk more about that.
Yeah, so for me, this week was my first full week, like with my normal schedule and routine, since last week I just came to US, and also this week was also, like as Xander said, that was also for me very good, because all the summer I was really struggling, but this week was, I think it's also because the market started to little change, and I made 5 trades. And when I look at my stats, I was surprised when I saw that that's the first time I made 5 trades since the first week of March. So that was right after that hot market. So very nice that I took 5 trades in a summer market. So that means something. Other than that, nothing else. Yeah.
I'll go next. This week for me has been absolutely terrible. I've been super sick. 99% sure I came down with Corona, but getting better now, much better over the past few days. But trading related, I've also made quite a bit of a switch. I have the past month or so, I've not been following my rules the way that I should. My executions have not been where they should. My risk management has not been the way it should. I've just been mostly holding and hoping recently. And this week I was like, enough is enough. I'm not doing this anymore. And I'm super excited to start implementing my new ways into this coming week and beyond. And I should have been knowing that sometimes the best trade is a no trade at all. So I'll talk about that more later, but Josh is up next.
Yeah, so my week has been pretty good. Everything, in my opinion, went like it all came together with the paper trading for 2 straight months. Truly focusing on process, not profits at all. And yeah, I went 4 for 4 on trades this week. I was completely in control of my emotions and everything throughout all of them. It's easy when there's no money on the line, but I believe I can now do it with real money now again.
Love it. That's great to hear. Awesome, Josh. Anybody got anything else before we move on to the markets? All right, well, I'm going to go first. I'm going to start talking about the listed market. As we all know, VRPX started off the week as a massive boom, going from whatever it was, $4 to $39. And pretty much for the rest of the week, everybody was looking for the next VRPX. Everyone was looking for a PMCB to make a massive run. Then they dropped their offering, and a bunch of people lost their asses on that. Those that decided to hold. Never hold a sketchy money-losing biotech. That's a big rule. But yeah, everybody was looking for the next VRPX. It was said to start making a big shift in the market, make the market a little bit hotter. But it hasn't completely revitalized it yet. But we can see signs that it's slowly starting to become a little bit hotter and hotter. Not as much stagnant as it's been recently. Shorts aren't really in control. Longs aren't really in control. Just still a lot of choppiness. But we'll be looking every single day for that, for another VRPX or another sign that's going to kind of ignite the market. So whatever Xander has to add with the listed market, go right ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the same as what you said, like it's getting hotter because I noticed there are more opportunities for me, but I just still feel like it's not really a hot market, but I think we're getting there. I think over time we're gonna just slowly grind up, and then eventually we'll have some cappers in the morning. So I'm hoping for that.
Yeah, definitely. Alex, what about OTCs?
So this week was way better than last week, and in general, better than the last, I would say, last few months even. I saw more plays that are just actually starting to work. So that means that I may be a little bit more aggressive coming into the next weeks, and also into the fall. Especially on Friday, the market was really nice. Not only it was better than on Thursday, but overall, I felt that improvement of the market. So I really think we may see more solid plays, like the quantity of them may increase, and the quality of them may increase. And also, like as I said on Friday, there was also less choppy action, but there were some still, but like less than like I saw clean move. So I really hope for the next week it's gonna continue, and especially coming into the fall market. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Let's do it. Josh, you have anything to add with OTCs?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say like, yeah, Alex is right. The plays were much cleaner. Like AITX on Friday had 16 straight green candles. You remember that, Alex?
Yeah.
And AUNXF had more plays in that one ticker this week than like the amount of plays in OTC in general in the last
Beautiful
few
morning
weeks.
panics on that.
Yeah, morning
Yeah.
panics, easy bounces.
Like I would say
Clean.
like last episode I said that we're getting 1-2 solid plays, but I think this week almost every day that there was one, at
Mhm.
least one solid play. Like, well, I would say even one in the morning and then one in the afternoon. So I really felt the improvement.
Yeah,
Love it. Yeah, hopefully that starts to spark. Like we were talking
Yeah.
about listed OTC market.
both the
Hope all the
yeah.
markets will just
Yeah.
start heating up a little bit, you know, after the summer kind of lull. August is historically the slowest, so hopefully we'll
Yeah,
start
people are coming back from vacations.
the market, yeah, from vacations.
yeah, definitely. So anyone have anything else to add about the markets?
You know,
No.
we can start
Awesome.
going
Well,
into
Xander's
our
gonna
trades.
start talking about how his trades are going and stuff. So
Yep. So I'll start by showing my month overall so far. You know, I was just not playing the right setup for the market, which was shorting after like a death candle. But the problem with that is that I'm shorting always bottom of the range. After a death candle, it goes to support. I'm shorting the pop, which is like low to mid range, and I just kept getting trapped, especially in this market. But as you can see, on about the 14th or on the 14th, I made a video saying I found out why I'm unprofitable. And ever since then, it's been like uptrending. It's been really good. And I'm actually just now today, like, or Friday, technically, I break even on the month. And so I'm hoping that next week is even more. And that's just because I'm shorting top of the range instead of the bottom of the range. So I'm shorting the top, covering the bottom. And I even started, I'm starting to make this spreadsheet for tracking to tell me where to start covering and how I should treat the trades. I'm just trying to learn more about outer lines and how I can, you know, where I should cover, if I should hold longer for more risk reward, because I really want to get better than 1-to-1 risk reward. But you know, I'm just gonna have to evolve over time. Let's go through the speed run through all my trades. I think last week I don't remember when I was last time, probably last week, but I went over some trades. But I'll show you what I mean by I'm shorting the top of the range. LMFA is a good example. Can you guys see that?
Yeah, we could see it.
yes.
All right. Yeah. So this normally I would have, you know, I would have normally, this is like a death candle or stuff. I would have shorted this pop here, would have got trapped to the top of the range. Instead, this time I'm shorting VWAP, which is a line. And then there's another line, you know, around this area. 5-4 was the line. And I'm shorting the top of the range, covering the bottom. My covers were kind of sloppy on this because I was scared it was just gonna reclaim. But again, I'm gonna get better over time. KXIN, this was another good trade. You can't see the previous day, but actually you can. Let me just do this, pull this up. KXIN. So this is what the whole day looks like. Let's zoom out. As you can see, it was like, you know, this was the day one where we run up. We're kind of choppy, whatever. But then the day two, we grinded up pre-market. and I wasn't even planning on trading this, but I looked over at my screen and I noticed that the stock was at the outer lines from yesterday. And so this is the top of the range again. And then you could see from yesterday, this is the bottom of the range. I have my 3-1 line drawn, and that was literally pretty much the bottom. It technically bottomed at like 303, which I should have been more patient because that was my last cover, so I would have got better covers there. But it's not always bad to be less patient, but I think over time I'll learn, and especially with tracking, I'll be able to learn how to maximize my covers. And then one more trade, which is a really good trade, was MRIN. This is like one of my favorite trades because, you know, we're shorting the top of the range, and so we're shorting the top of the range, which is 5.8. Let me actually pull up a bigger picture. Here's that. Okay, so as you can see, this is a broken day one. And so we're just downtrending. Before this, it was like up even higher. And so we're just beaten down. And so we had this huge, just massive wash on the market open, and we bounced, which is perfect. And I based my first entry off this 5.8 line, which is resistance from pre-market. My second line was at 5.87, which was view up, and it literally missed it by 2 cents. So I would have gotten double the size if it had hit it, but it didn't. So that kind of sucks. Over time, I'll be able to, you know, as you can see, it rejected it. What I could have done is add right here. I could have slammed on more size right here. That's what I should have done. But, you know, that takes a lot of skill and just experience. So over time, I'll be able to learn how to do that better. And also, this is one of the reasons why I'm starting to track this specific setup. I covered really quickly, and that's because I'm scared of it just reclaiming. But something that I thought of is if the stock is overview up, then I know I need to nail bill. But if it's underview up, I'm trying to track to see if I can hold for a longer move down. So I'm over time tracking, and next week or the week after that, I'll be able to tell you guys my results, and just I can't wait just to keep evolving these trades. So yeah, that was my week. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, I love that, Xander, that you're going to be tracking these, because that's something I've been wondering too on these stocks that are broken day ones, the ones that stay under VWAP, whether they reclaim, or the ones that are above VWAP, whether they dip under and reclaim. But the ones that are usually under VWAP usually end up just popping to VWAP and stuffing down like the way that you've been shorting them with low hanging fruit. So I'm interested to see how your tracking results go with these.
Right. And yeah, something I'm thinking, because I have seen a lot of the time where it's a broken day one, it's come all the way down, it's really broken, and then we got to pop a little bit overview up, and then we just bounce off view up and go all the way to high day, pre-market high day. And so I'm trying to see if overview up, if I should just cut for like break even or anything, because that might have a huge risk of just getting back to high day.
Mhm.
Or if the ones that reject view up, I can hold for a fade. So that's what I want to track.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Alex.
Yeah. Okay, so this, as I already said, this week I made 5 trades. And first of all, I want to share my screen to show you. So this is TraderView, and last week was the first time when I saw this chart here. And so ever since I started trading, my main focus was always have my winners way bigger than my losses. And I remember all of us talk about it, how my one gain can cover 3 or 4 losing trades. And here you can see that every gain that I have, it's at least like the solid gains, at least like 3 times my losses. So see, I have a few like break-even trades, but like my full size losses here. I mean, they're not including commissions in the past, but doesn't matter. So still, we're looking, they're all bigger than my losses, and I'm very, very happy to see that. Then, so the first trade I made here. The first trade that I made was on HBIL. So yeah, this trade was on here. I have here so many. Here. So this day. This was on 16th. So that was on Monday. I saw this. This was yeah. So I saw this morning action, and immediately I saw that because I've seen this a lot of times when I have this consolidation and then the break. So I missed this first break, and then as I always do, I buy either on the high break or to the dip to the breakout level. So I got it here at 92, and my huge mistake was that my risk level, I set it at 88. So because it was like the low of, see this candle, so just one candle, while the actual risk was 86, since this was the low day. I mean, you don't count this week because this was just probably just one seller. Yeah, the only reason why I got it at when I had it at 88 was because I didn't want to have a wide risk. But you know, the chart that doesn't care what you want or you don't want. You have to just play based on the chart and just size in. So I should have just took like a small position, and then so that my risk at 6%, it's not that big actually, just 6%. And as we see, I held for 2 hours, and then it had this fake out, and it broke my risk, but it didn't break the actual risk. So I just got faked out here, and literally because I had the wrong risk. That was the only reason. The setup was still there. There was an A plus setup. I mean, everything was there. I didn't show you the daily chart. Kind of messed up here. So now that was a multi-day breakout. You see here, that was a multi-day breakout. Also coming into the big multi-month breakout here. So the morning action was really good. And then, so okay, I sold it here, but that does mean I cannot re-enter that after in the afternoon. So I still kept it on my watch. And then here, 92, I just missed it again. Because I remember watching that for the confirmation above 60, I mean above 82, and the level to the tape, it was confirming that it's gonna break that level, but I wanted to wait until that level was actually broken, like on the ask side. And as soon as broke, it just skipped to 93 and then 94, and I just kept it, you know, just missed it. Then this was the perfect dip to the UCC day, high day. It was the perfect dip to the high, like perfect. And I missed it again. Here I just hesitated, another miss, and see it broke the most multi-day level at 1. And then probably I would have sold, see I said potentially sell half of the position into the closing price, the close here, and then swing the rest. But we had the open was wasn't good, but I was watching the open, so I probably would have been able to sell it here, even if I didn't like sell it in like at 1 or T. Still, would have been a solid profit. So I was super frustrated that I missed this trade, but yeah, I just had to learn from that. And then the next day, I had another trade on this. Here I entered after the panic, then on the higher low, expecting the push, and they had the multi-month breakout, like I showed you on the daily, but it just had this huge red candle here, and I sold here for, that was a smaller, like all these losses are tiny, and then we had just dump into the afternoon, and yeah, so this stock just died. So it literally turned from an A plus setup in 3 days. It turned into from an A plus setup to nothing.
Ignore.
Yeah, it just had this, and then the next day it had this huge gap down. So at this point, it's just done for me. Then the next trade I had on, yeah, this was a nice trade. So this was on this day, I had it on my watch, like after this day, I had it on my watch for a panic. And on this day, yeah, on this day, I missed this perfect panic because I missed this panic because I was using Schwab, but on Schwab, when you trade the tickers that end with F, you have 50% commission, $50 commission. So thanks God, when I clicked buy, they warned me that, because if they didn't, I would have made 15% and it paid $100. So that was nice. But I mean, I just wasn't quick enough to set the order in my E-Trade, so I missed it. But even though I missed it, it was very cool to see such clean. See, this panic is clean. See, the bounce was super clean. So therefore, I had them more the next day, and then we had almost the same panic. And now I was ready on my E-Trade, and I entered here at 113. 1 second. I entered at 113, and then as soon as it spiked to 12, I always say I felt that pause, but the pause was when it spiked, so that wasn't a good sign. Then I put my limit at 12, and got out at 12 too. Yeah, I was partially filled, and then after 3 minutes, I got filled fully. So yeah, that was a nice 8% gain. That was like a small dollar gain, but that was very, very cool to trade Panic Dubai again. And surprisingly enough, it had another clean panic the next day. So this ticker just had three clean, like TSMP in February, if you remember that. And my last trade was the best trade from this week. Was on fill. This was a first green day on the daily chart, like a reversal after many red candles. And right in the morning, I was alerted by one trader. And as soon as I saw fill, I immediately, because I've seen a lot of this exact patterns when they, like in the morning, see here, that's what I saw. I mean, yeah, so that's what I saw here. And then I saw the, like after an hour, about almost an hour, I still had on my watch. And I think my risk, so again, I had the wrong risk. I had it at 49. Therefore, I sized in for 49. So that means I had a smaller position. And when I look at my trade after that, I realized that I was risking $10, while my normal risk is $20. So anyways, as soon as I saw this perk, I entered at 0.00515, and then I just held for all this spike. I mean, it looks kind of choppy, but it wasn't choppy like on the level 2. And then I sold. So this is the thing. On this one, I wanted to try scaling out. My first sell was, I think that was the best sell. I sold at 58, half of my position. And then what I should have done is, because I always on this place, I always sell into the second push. But since I don't have commissions on my new broker, I can just sell half and then just keep the other half. But instead I just sold it here, like almost at the same price. So I should have sold somewhere here like 61. So that would have been the best scaling out for me. But anyways, I sold it at 57, and I had so my gain was $40. But if I had my initial risk at 5, then that would have been double, because then I would have used the double the size, all the stuff. But the dollar, no, it doesn't matter. I was very, very happy to recognize the pattern like early enough, and then not hesitate and enter here. And then I had it on my watch for the afternoon, and there was like a scratch trade here because I wanted to get it on the dip, expecting the high day, because it was very strong. But then I don't know, the afternoon action are kind of weird. Like the same thing happened on HPL. So yeah, I was very happy for this trade. And also good thing to mention, this trade covered my last 3 losing trades. Yeah, so this one covered the 3 losing trades, and like that means I'm break even for 4 trades, even though the win rate is 25%. So yeah, that was all my trades.
Very nice. Morning OT swizzle on Phil right there.
Yeah, this was just perfect.
Your equity curve is like perfect. Like just keep it up and you're really profitable. And also like this trade was like 4-to-1 risk reward or something crazy like that.
That wasn't even for, if I sold it here, that would have been like 7-to-1.
Right.
So,
yeah. That's
the risk
crazy.
was just so, like, even if the risk is at 49, it's still very small compared to this big action here.
And once it starts working, do you move your risk to break even, or would you keep it?
Well, that's a good question. So I think, well, obviously, so for example, if I sold here at 58, half of the position, then I have my other half, there's no way I would have held it through 50.
Right.
Because
yeah.
if I just dump, so then I think probably 57 or just feather. Yeah, like if I see, so also a good thing to mention. So see, this spike was like 20%, but if it was just 10%, I would have sold here, for example, and then held through all this. And then as soon as here it broke high day, see, it broke just by 1 point, then
Yeah.
100%, because I always say like when they break high day, after the second push, after the second push, then if they break high day and don't act convincingly, I just sell. So I would have sold at
Okay.
63 probably, like into these red candles, because I don't like when they break high day and act very weak. So yeah, and yeah, that's all.
Awesome. Great job, Alex. Love to see that you made 5 trades, which was your most amount since the first week of
Yeah.
March. I actually guessed that before we started this
Yeah.
episode.
And also one thing I forgot to say, that all these months, like I think since May, I was trying to adapt to the market. I was trying to change the way I trade and the way I look at the market. So right now I can say that I'm really getting familiar with this like sub-penny breakouts, and I know what to look for every day, because before, like even in February when like I made a lot of money, like my only pattern was panic Dubai, it's just the morning thing. So when it finishes, like what then? So I really didn't have like a clear process. Yeah, that's the word. But now I have it, and just when I go into the market, I have like Xander, because Xander, like before market opens, he has all the plans open up there. I have kind of the same thing when I look for, just the main thing here is being patient, because you can enter at here because you want to have a good, like the good price, but you don't have the confirmation, and this can easily just break down. So I was waiting for literally an hour just sitting and watching the only stock. So yeah, that's the hard thing about this niche, and also following the risk is just the main thing here. As you've seen, that my first trade I failed just because my risk wasn't the correct one. So risk is just very important.
Yeah, I like the patience part, because patience is super important when you're waiting for your setups to align, but it's also important when you're mid trade to let your winners run. It works both ways. Can have patience during a trade, but not patience to wait for your setup. That's what I've learned recently. So yeah, I'm gonna go next. I'm gonna go over 2 trades that I made. Let me share my screen really quick. So this was on Friday. This was on SNOA. Let me zoom out a little bit. Pre-market was pretty illiquid, but still a quick spike. Opened around VWAP and quickly stuffed. Then I drew some trend lines right here, kind of like a little mini wedge. It's not any like set wedge, but it just helped me out for my execution. Looking for this to reclaim VWAP, but I set my risk level. The important part for this for me, because in the recent past, like the past month or so, I normally would have set my risk level right here around 709. And then I know I would have stopped out. But this time I was like, okay, this is enough. I got to make sure I set the appropriate risk level. So I set right here below the low of this candle. I didn't want to set low a day because I felt like I did not need that much room. Looking for a VWAP reclaim, I didn't need this much room. So I ended up setting my risk at 701. Ended up getting down here. I was getting really nervous that it was going to stop me out. But then I was like, nope, I got to stay true to my risk. I stayed true to my risk, got this little push, sold a little bit too early, but my plan was to sell into the push, so I did. It was a small gain. I don't care how much I made. It wasn't big. It was only like $10, but it was just nice to be able to follow my process and set a risk level that I knew was going to work, instead of just one that I knew I was going to get stopped out at if I set it like up here. So that's really all I got on this one. I'm going to do my other trade. I traded VRPX on Friday as well. Were you going to say something, Xander?
Yeah, I was gonna say on that trade, I like the entry because it was like right below VWAP and we're at zombie hours. So like it's bound to trap and like reclaim.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. And as soon as we held right here at 709, I was like, all right, this is perfect for me. So I held and waited. So.
And you had the hard stop, right, at the risk level?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah. On that, I never will not have a hard stop on a listed stock. So VRPX was on Friday. As we know, Tuesday was its massive day, but it just kind of like started going down early in the week. This was actually a perfect setup for a VWAP reclaim. And so this was the morning spike out the gate, kind of little dip, little higher low, set this high a day, started making lower lows. This was this white dash line here is the previous day's close line at 1723. So I saw it set this low right here, set its higher low, drew my trend line after the basing, got in right here at 1756. Perfect setup for the VWAP reclaim. Just didn't end up working out, and that's fine. So my risk was here at 1723, and as you can see, it just consolidated for a little bit, cracked down right here, and just slowly faded for the rest of the day. Didn't do anything else. So this just didn't reclaim. I'll take this trade over and over and over again because the odds are well in my favor on it, but it just didn't work. And also, given how hot this stock was during the week, I liked this trade here, even though it didn't work out. So yeah, towards the end of this week, after I said enough was enough, and I was not following my rules well, I was not executing my plans well. My plans would be working a lot of the time, but I would just be missing out on those plans because my executions would be bad, not how they should be, and I was not following my rules how I should be. So I said enough was enough. And yeah, I'm excited for next week to start applying and not do some of the things that I was doing before and trade smart. And it's especially in this August market, how it's been tough. Actually, let me take this off quick. In this August market, how it's been super tough. One of the most important things for me was needing to be completely honest and humble with myself and knowing when to pump the brakes. A lot of top traders, they kind of go off in the summer, go on vacation. They don't trade as much. And even though I'm learning, I should have known in these past few weeks that it's important to know when to pump the brakes, know when sometimes the best trade is no trade at all. I've forced a lot of trades this month that I never should have forced. And now I look back on them and I like slap myself in the face because I'm like, what was I doing? Why was I so stupid to do that? If this was today, I would never do that again. And I'm just happy to be realizing that. But I feel like these mistakes are mistakes that I had to make in order to realize them. And every trader has kind of like a slump that they go through when nothing can really seem to go right. And this past few weeks or so has kind of been that for me. And I'm glad it's happening right now in the beginning of my journey than when my account is bigger and my position size is bigger. And I'm glad it's happening now when I am trading small size. So that's all I really got for my trades. And Josh is going to go next.
Yeah, so I had 4 solid trades this week. Okay, so the first one, are you guys able to see it?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so it was on MRMD on the 16th, which was, what day was this? Monday. So I saw this have a morning spike and I was like, oh, I missed it. And then, I was just hoping that it overextended on VWAP. So then when it comes down, I can play the bounce. And then, yeah, I just played this perfectly. Well, I bottom ticked it, but then I don't know, I think the level 2 scared me out. And I just took gains, halfway through the top. Let me see.
I like your
This
lines
one?
here, Josh. Your
Yeah,
lines are super good.
pretty clean. So HPIL, this was a morning spike after a big gap down. So I knew that it would have to bounce. Similar to NSAV of last week, which, Jack Keller played. He played really well. Like, what was it, Alex? Do you remember? I don't remember exactly.
No, yeah, SNS.
NSAV.
Yeah, NC. He bought it
Last
right
week,
at
this
the
is-
open.
Yeah, it was similar to this. So for this one, I caught the morning spike after a big gap down and just simply sold it at this line. It was a 9.7% gain. So, I sold this pretty well. Maybe could have got in at the VWAP bounce. Sold it over here, but, I was pretty content with the almost 10% win. AUNXF.
I had HPL that morning. I had it on my watch, and I literally said that it can have the same move as NSCV.
The same move? Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking.
The
After the
chart
big
was,
gap
yeah,
down.
yeah, they're almost the same chart.
Yeah. So AUNXF, I missed this earlier in the week. I think it was Tuesday and Wednesday it spiked, and then Thursday I played this one. But I missed Tuesday and Wednesday. I was focusing too much on listeds. Especially last week too. I missed some good plays because I was focusing on listeds. Listeds were pretty dry. So yeah, I started paying more attention to stocks like this, AUNXF. Alex played it the previous day.
Yeah,
Literally similar panic.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
got in at the
same thing,
bottom.
yeah.
The level 2 was so predictable.
Yeah, that
And
week,
then-
you see that week, that was just
Yeah.
one poor buyer.
Exactly, like over here.
So it doesn't matter.
Same
yeah.
thing.
The panic was clean in the
The
balance.
panic was super clean, and the level 2, the turn
Mhm.
was super clean. I remember when I was watching this live, that one wick up, it literally scared me so
Yeah.
bad.
Oh
I
yeah,
was like, "Whoa, what is that?"
you were typing it in the Discord chat, I remember.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And I was
Oh my
already
gosh.
like in a paper trade.
So that means someone got super lucky and someone got super unlucky.
Yeah, someone got in a market order over here.
Yeah,
They're down instantly, and
Mhm.
there's no way they're
Yeah.
gonna get their money back.
I said like that's what you get for using a market order. No.
Exactly.
yeah.
So I got
I'm
in
just gonna.
here.
Sorry, Josh. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that when OTC start heating back up, morning panics are going to be one of the main patterns that I'm
Mhm.
trading on them. And the fact
Me
that
too.
AUNXF gave 3 days in
Yeah,
a row
just like
of a
S&P.
solid opportunity on it, and I missed it
Yes.
all 3 of those days, I can't forgive myself for that, man. If it happens 3 days in a row, I mean, obviously the market hasn't been great for them, but when it starts heating up, regardless, 3 days in a row of a great morning panic, got to capitalize on it once. Alex did, Josh did paper trading, and I
Yeah,
missed
so
out on all 3 days.
that was one of the reasons why maybe that was good that I didn't trade the first panic, because the first panic was like almost random because before they didn't work out.
Yeah, it was.
But then the
random.
second day, as soon as like I saw the first day, the first clean action, and then I knew that it was still overextended on a daily, and I knew that it has like this personality, as you want to say, like having a clean panic and bounce. So the next day I traded down.
Yeah, dude, for me, I was like, no way, it has the same panic 2 days in a row. And it did. And then
And
the
then the
third day, I
third
was
day-
like, yeah, this is legit. Like, I'm gonna buy this one.
Dude,
And
the
then
third day, this
easy
day, I
level
was
2
like, there's
turn.
no way it does it again.
Yeah.
Did it again.
Yeah. This is the wick up shocked me though.
Mhm.
And then on my sell, I just got scared out by the level 2, and
Yeah.
it was like a very odd spread. I remember.
That's still good, you know.
And I was like,
Yeah.
man, should I hold it? There's no way like I should sell. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna sell. Because if this was an actual trade, ideally I would sell half with Schwab or something like that.
Yes.
No commissions. But like I'm in a paper trade. I'm not gonna say like I sold half,
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
So I
Josh,
took the
are you gonna
6%
start
profit here.
trading like for real this week, you said?
Yeah, for real.
Love it.
With E-Trade, and then once my funds clear with Schwab, I'll just trade with Schwab.
It's 4 days, right, for funds to settle?
Three.
3?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3.
Okay, good.
And then AITX, this was on Friday, yeah. So go ahead, Xander, what were you gonna say?
Oh, no, go ahead.
Okay, so this is the one that Alex and I were talking about earlier. Just straight green, right? And we're like, no way it can go higher, you know? And then it goes higher and it goes higher. So then I was waiting for it to come back towards VWAP. And then I got it on the VWAP bounce, or on the dip. I think it would bounce, retest the highs, and break out because it looked pretty strong. But I guess it was already like too overextended, you know? So once I got in, I realized by the level 2, like, oh damn, you know, it's not gonna bounce anymore. So I just got out. Quick gain. It was 3%. So
I wanna
not
add
bad.
here. So in February, the 2 panic device that I was trading is the first just panic right away, like the A ticker, and then the second one is after a morning spike. I would call that morning spike panic. So this was the one I was watching, right? Like when it started that first red take, I was like, let's get the panic at least below VWAP, and then Tim Sykes bought it, and I was like, okay, I'm done with that one. So it ruined it, you know, because it was just like, see, he bought it 2 cents after the below the high. So right when he did that, I was like, okay, this stock is down for me.
Yeah, this pattern, the VWAP bounce is working last week, but not this week as much.
Yeah, Josh, the way that I'm gonna just say this, the way that you are drawing your lines through multiple days and they're matching up really, really well, especially since you're in Schwab now and the executions are 0. In your
Yes.
future, I could see you taking advantage of a lot of great channel trades in between your lines. Because the way that you're drawing your lines, they're matching up really good with the price action. I see a lot of channel trading in your future. I'm no like freaking fortune teller thing, but I could definitely see you channel trading really well.
Yeah, thanks. And I know Bao, I literally just reversed the chart because he goes, let's, for example, over here, he'll short, cover, and then short, cover over here, and then short up here, and then cover
Mhm.
back down here. I'm trying to do the same thing, not to that scale, but on the long side.
Yeah, just trust those lines and it'll work out definitely.
Mhm.
Josh,
Yeah,
okay, anyways, did you put those lines after today? After
No, I didn't.
Friday? That was before? Those lines were
yeah,
before?
it was before.
From where? That's
I don't know, remember exactly for,
wow.
Alex, I'm telling you, man, he's
Oh, I
he's
see on
spooking
the
you with
chart.
his lines. You're
Do you
I
see
asking
it?
see
where
on
he
the
gets
chart.
these lines
Oh my,
from, and he's got them on there.
wait, I
see
have
it?
to show this. I have to show this.
okay, go ahead.
This is the line. Oh my god, how clean is that? Look.
Haha.
Oh my god. That was literally, see, the low is 5 and the high is
They
4.99.
lined up.
Wow. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. That's
Yeah,
too clean.
dude. It
That's
was
too
funny
clean.
because
Oh, okay. And now it's almost the breakout level also. This is really,
oh my
Oh
god.
my.
Lined up, man.
I remember listening to one of the podcasts and they said that like in 1980s, like 10% of people were using technical analysis and everyone was using fundamental analysis. And I was like, why would you use fundamental when you have this? Like, this is
Exactly.
Yeah,
You just keep channel
fundamental can
trading.
be very, very spotty. It only matters with offerings usually.
Exactly. Or
But yeah, it
if
was
you're swing trading or things like that. But if we're in for a few minutes or maybe an hour or so, I don't think it matters as much.
Alex, where'd you go? Xander will be back soon, guys. His internet died.
I'm
so
here.
He'll be back in a second. But it was funny because this week, Alex, you'd be like, Josh, where'd you get those lines from? And Josh would be like, I had those lines on before.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They
Yeah,
lined
that's-
up though.
No, yeah,
So
they are.
ideally, if
lining
I
up.
was trading, that would be like a big week for me. And then
Yeah.
maybe other small weeks.
Yeah,
the week
like
before.
some traders, they had like really great weeks this week, like especially when like OTC traders.
All right, guys. So we're just gonna get into a little bit of open discussion. So whoever wants to go can go ahead.
Yeah, I want to start first. So after my first trade of the week on HPIL, when I had the wrong risk, I made a new very solid rule for me that I must follow all the time. And I said that when I'm playing bigger picture moves, like in the morning, I have to have the most reasonable risk, not just the one that I think is less, that the one has less percentage. I just have to choose the most reasonable risk level, chart-based risk level, and I just have to size in accordingly. So I have my $20 risk. And also what I said is I have to either like use smaller position or I just don't play it. So there's no way I can use the wrong risk because it just, the market doesn't care about like other things, my emotions, what I want to lose on the trade. It cares about the price action. The price action is always the king. So I have to use the right risk level. So yeah. And also one thing I started doing this week is I print every chart, like every daily chart with all the nodes of my missed trades. Like I have a binder and all the trades that I miss, on the Thinkorswim, I changed the background to white background, and then I just print all the charts,
Yeah.
and then I just review them all during the weekends, so I don't miss it again. So yeah,
Great idea.
and also I can
Yes.
actually put them on my wall.
Yeah, who needs
Yes.
room decorations when you could put charts on your wall?
Yes.
Right.
I
I
think
have
it's
my
just-
yeah,
old
Xander
OTC
has-
charts.
Oh,
I
that's
still
true.
have my old OTC
Yeah,
charts.
yeah, I saw Xander
It's a
set
good
up.
idea. I need to put some charts on my wall. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna start printing stuff out.
Because
Honestly, I'm
doesn't-
really excited. I'm really excited for like OTCs to get hot again. So like, because I feel like the panic devices are so straightforward. I feel like I'll be able to do
Even
them pretty
even
well.
shorting too. I remember, Jack, Jack 2.0, and someone asked him on Instagram, what was your best traits? And he said that my best traits were always only on OTCs because they have the most volatility and everything. Like he says, like his
Yeah.
main patterns are on Nasdaqs, but his best traits are on OTCs.
No,
He
dude,
shorts
seriously,
Yeah.
I want to
Nasdaq,
frickin'
longs
like
OTCs.
shorting OTCs just goes crazy, man. I want to like when I start
Wait.
shorting, like, dude, these freaking OTC first red days off the pump and dumps are always insane.
Yeah.
Like Mark Crook on
Kyle
one of these
Williams
a
too.
month ago, it was like in the 34-cent range, and he was like, "All right, guys, just entered a huge short position. I'll cover this in the mid 20s later today." He covers it at like 21 cents. It's hilarious. Sorry, Josh. I think I interrupted you.
No, I finished.
No, Xander has to say something. Start saying something. Let's go.
Okay, so something me and Alex were talking about over like I think it was like Saturday or Friday or something. We're talking in our chat room about psychology. And something that I realized over the summer was that when I have like more free time, I don't study as hard, I don't work as hard. But then once like the second I started school, I started working harder and performing better in my trading. And I had no idea why, but it was just because when I have less free time, I work harder, I'm more efficient with the free time that I do have. So if I have like 2 hours a day, I'm like during the summer, I had, like some of the days I had all day. A lot of the days I still had to go to work, but a lot of the days I had probably like 12 hours to do whatever. And I was probably only studying and trading like 4 hours of that. But now, and like the efficiency wasn't very good. But now I only have like probably like 3 hours a day to study or do whatever, not including training hours. But the 3 hours I'm really efficient. I would say like that 3 hours is like 6 hours efficiency because like
Oh.
I'm really focused because I know that I only have a certain amount of time. I only have a small amount of time, so I'm really focused on just performing, like learning the most I can from that. Oh,
Yeah.
which leads me to my decision on why I want to go to college instead of taking a gap year. So
Yeah. Me
Smart.
too.
For
Me too.
time management purposes, smart.
Yeah, this is exactly the same thing happened in the summer, and also plus the change in the time zone. So there's no way to study as much as I did before, but now in about 10 days, my college is gonna start, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, I'm gonna work harder than I'm doing right now. And just I think the reason is because when you have like other things not trading related that you don't really like, you want to finish them as quickly as possible so that you can spend the other time
right.
trading. Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah, like when I'm now, ever since I started school, when I'm driving home from work, I'm like I get out of the car and I run to my setup just so I can start learning. But like when I have free time, like I take like
Yeah.
10 minutes to walk to my setup.
Yeah, and you get something to eat and stuff like that.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, dude, I freaking love it. I mean, I feel that on a big level too. Like I started school recently, and I literally said to myself, 2 hours a day maximum on schoolwork, and the time that I'm not in class or at the gym, the rest of the time I'm studying and trading and stuff. Like I got to the point where I only want this much a day to be on schoolwork. I need to finish it all as fast as possible because I hate this shit and I want to get it over with.
Exactly.
And all of this comes down to you just have to make the most of the time that you do get. Like if you have time, you can't waste it. When your life is so like busy and stuff, like you don't have the time to waste it when you could be doing something to help yourself get better. And that's where we put in with trading and everything else. And that's why we're trying to fit it in like a puzzle. And that's why time management is super important no matter what stage of your life that you're in. So
just
Yeah.
do the work while the teacher's talking, and then study on your way to the gym, on the way back to the gym.
Yeah.
And plus, my coach is gonna be online, so I chose like the perfect. So I have 3 classes, and I chose, I think 2 of them are gonna be from 8 my time, so it's 11 p.m. to I think 2 p.m. So 2 p.m. I mean 3 or 2 p.m. Eastern, and then the other class I have after the market close, so it's just perfect.
Nice.
that's exactly what I
Yeah.
have.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. I have that exact same thing.
It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
remember when Team Sykes were talking about how he used to have night classes with like old people, old people.
Yeah, Huddy was saying that too. There's like a guy from Subway or something like that. Like
Yeah.
those are the guys that went
I
to
mean,
his school.
that guy was crazy. Team Sykes, 20 years old, is like, I think it's like about 20 years old. They're
Mhm.
by the way, they met each other to how do you even say that? To like
They're in
go
Italy this
to-
week.
Yeah.
The thing is,
So-
That,
though,
that
like,
that's funny. They're having
At a
that's a
certain
funny
point-
time with them.
at a certain point, like, what do you study? You know, like we were talking about it a few days
Yeah.
ago. Like, we kind of
Yeah, I
have
know.
run out of things to study. I mean, we studied all the DVDs, video lessons, webinars, everything over and over and over again. You know,
Yeah, I
That
think
was
The best thing to
basically
do
analyzing ourselves.
is the best thing to do is like look at your previous trades,
Yeah,
just
I was
like
gonna say
look
that.
at them over and over again, data track. What I'm doing is, even though I have a ton of stuff to study at MIC still, but like something I do when I don't want to watch the videos is like I look at my trades, I create questions, and then I ask Alex or any of the other mods, and I look at their trades, like I look at other people's trades and I ask them
Mhm.
like what their thesis was. So I'm trying to learn from other people too.
Yeah, I feel like right now I know all the basics that I need. And like I remember before I had so many videos to choose from, like to watch. But now I just feel like almost every video that even as I'm watching some of the Britannia's webinars from 2018, and so I watched 40 minutes of the video, and then I asked myself what I learned, and I say nothing. It was like
Yeah.
like what, like I know all this, so what's the point of me just watching that? And then I'm
Right.
trying to find some other videos, but I'm like, okay, I know that too. So like
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
the only thing that I know is when I watch like different podcasts from other people, like new traders. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Have you guys watched Brian Lee?
yeah,
Yeah.
I also.
with his stats and
Yeah, I love
Excel
him.
sheets.
Yeah, I love him.
So I think I'm personally, and I think some of you too, we're just in a phase where we need to just improve on, as Xander said, like we need to watch and look at our trades and think of the ways we can improve on the executions, like the charts, all that stuff, and also improve our mental part, meaning emotions during a trade, and as I said, following the risk. It's also important. So like the things that you can't learn like from other places, you just have to look at because every person is different. You just have to look at your trades and just learn from that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, focusing on our process and just like whether it be back testing and data tracking and going over our trades and looking at our setups and finding out what in our process is working best. Obviously, that's the most amazing thing. That's the best thing for us to do right now. But for me recently, something that has been kind of helping was rewatching some podcasts or re-listening to some podcasts from the past. And every time I re-listen to them, I get something new out of it. Because like the first time you watch something, you're just like paying attention. You're like, okay, what can I get out of this? What can I get out of this? But then when you watch something over a second time, I've noticed it's basically like you've never seen it before because you learn something new every single time you watch something new. Like, for example, I've rewatched some of the Beyond the PDT podcasts. I've really liked watching Be the Story and his podcast lately. So just learning from the best top traders and what their mindsets are. Mindset is a huge thing for us now, whether it not just like physical material of like, because we already know like what we're supposed to do. It's just like our mindset and our
Executing on
process
that.
and how we're supposed to apply it. So
Yeah. Also, you said about Be the Story. So he like his latest podcasts were different, well, a little different because he talks with people that are just beginners. I saw that like a few episodes. So that's also cool to like see how other people act in the beginning. And like after every one of those, I always think like we're 100 times better than them. Like the way they do in the beginning, I'm like, what are you doing? Like you're just starting. Why are you like having like $1,000 risks and all that? It's incredible. So we know what we
Yeah,
do.
but our
We just
profit
have
should
to
be 100
implement.
times bigger then. for 100
Well,
times
yeah,
better.
but they're all losing, so.
Mm.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
awesome. Anybody got anything else to add?
Yeah,
Don't
so
think
I'm
so.
just re-listening to Trading in the Zone, and
Yeah.
Oh,
some of
good,
the
good
videos that
point. Yeah.
Tosh Bradley has posted on the MIC YouTube
Yeah.
channel, which has been pretty helpful with my regarding mindset.
I've just got to start it over and go through the whole thing. I got through chapter 1, but it's been a while, so I gotta, especially like for me in my mindset right now, I definitely need to read it.
Yeah,
Josh,
listen
do you
to
have
that.
the link for the YouTube?
I posted.
Alex has it, yeah.
Did you?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
it's
Can
in
you just
there,
put
yeah.
that in there again for me?
Mhm.
Appreciate it. All right. Anybody got anything else to add? If not, Xander, close us out.
Mm. Oh, well, I can talk about my expectation for the next week.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So I have some triggers, and I also forgot to say that one like for this month that I changed my approach at the markets. I started looking like before. I knew that Jack Kellogg, he always says that you have to look at the 15-minute chart, but I never really like used to do that. I only look at like 1 minute and daily. But now when you look, especially on sat pennies, when you look at 15-minute, the picture changes like dramatically. It's like the other like different chart, and it's very important to look at like more the bigger picture. And when you see that, and then you just have to find the way to enter that in 1 minute chart. So that's a little difficult, but I'm getting used to it. So I have a few tickers. I'm not gonna say because there are a lot of them. It doesn't matter, but just looking for the same price action as on Phil, like the morning spike, and the little consolidation break. And for the afternoons, I think as we've seen on the last trades, afternoon are kind of getting weak, so I'll be more careful for that. And I'm also very excited to see how morning panics act again, because they had one fake out, I would say, that week when we thought they're gonna come back, but they just disappeared. So we'll see.
And we thought they would.
Yeah, they
We were
faked
like
out
the
us.
return of the OTC
That was
market.
a
Let's
bait.
go.
Yeah, I guess that was too early, but now we may, because we're coming. I mean, it's still early. Yeah, still early. But when they start appearing in October, then I'll be interested.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Awesome.
that's all I have.
I love that part that you said about the 15-minute chart. I love the 15-minute chart.
Yeah,
Every
15
stock I
minute
look
chart
at,
helps
I
me draw
go
lines.
macro to micro. I go the
Yes.
daily, I go the 15-minute, and then I go the 1 minute. Every single time. It helps so much to
Mhm.
just see that bigger picture, intermediate, intraday.
Yes.
Awesome.
Do you use
Or
5 minute?
intradaily, that's the term for the
Yes.
15-minute. Intradaily.
Do you use 5 minute lens?
Not really. No,
Yeah.
I don't really ever
I
use
sometimes
5 minutes.
even like on very choppy stocks, I can sometimes even use 30 minutes.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna
I
start
just
doing,
use the 15.
what I'm gonna start doing is looking at the 5 minute to draw my lines, and then
No.
1 minute for the
Mhm.
trading. But then
Okay.
also, what Bao does is he uses line charts to find the lines,
Oh.
because with the line chart, it's really easy to find good support and resistance. So I'm gonna start trying that.
But does line chart include the wicks on the candles? No, they don't.
No.
No. But
Did you
I
just
mean-
say
I was
does a
thinking the same
line
thing.
chart include the weeks on the candles?
yeah.
There's no candles on a line chart.
No. I mean,
The wicks up and down.
but the wick.
Oh,
but
oh,
there's-
okay.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm
because
just kidding.
it includes the closing price.
It
I
record
think, yeah.
it just it's the
Yeah.
well, I mean, actually on 2S you can set it to show you what it wants to show you, but you can set it to show the high and the low, so that's interesting. And
That's
if you
pretty
want to
cool.
find resistance, maybe you set it to
Yeah,
the high.
I saw on your like Thinkorswim setup you have line charts. You have like both.
Yeah,
of them.
Bao Bao only uses line charts, so
What?
pretty
No way.
interesting.
Only?
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
only.
Only?
He only has he shares his charts via like candlesticks,
Yeah.
but he
we
trades
have-
with the
so
line
people
charts
understand
only.
that.
That's funny. I bet when he
great.
has
Yeah,
people
yeah,
try
exactly.
to talk mess to him about like using line charts, he's
Yeah.
like, dude, look at this.
Yeah.
So funny, dude.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, does anyone
Well,
else have anything to say?
No, I don't.
Awesome.
think
Well,
that's it.
thank you. yeah, thanks everyone for watching. I hope you guys could learn something. This was a really awesome one, like all the other ones. We talked about a lot of great things, and I feel like all of us are taking a huge step coming into next week. Alex is trading more. Josh is starting with a live account. Lance is going to start following his rules more and just sticking to them. And I'm finally finding the right setup for me. So we're all taking a huge step. And so that's pretty sick.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely. Just overall progress. Let's do it.
Yep.
1% better.
Well,
every day.
yeah. So if you guys enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe because we post every week. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
See you.
Sounds good. Cheers, guys.